Welcome everyone, and I can see that there's still some people joining the meeting, so we'll still have a growing number of participants. We have 60 right now, 61. So thank you for just your enthusiasm and so many people joining. I just feel like I don't really want to stop this slideshow because those pictures are so pretty and so exciting. But this was just a few pictures that we wanted to share in the meantime before the session really starts. So I think as much as they are stunning pictures, I'm going to stop now. Maybe we can play it afterwards again. I'm going to stop sharing and just welcome all of you properly to this session. My name is Magali. And some of you in the PFP Symphonia space might know me because I used to work with Symphonia. I'm a former member of the Symphonia team. Can I ask you to please mute for the moment and stay muted just to avoid the noises on the line. I'm going to Madinia Mohammed. There we go. Thank you. All right, so welcome to today's School Leadership Forum session. I'm going to share a few slides now just to...
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, that was probably not meant for me. Let me see if this is working. Yeah. For that. Is the screen sharing working? Can someone just confirm?
Yes, Magali, it's all sorted. We'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. So today's session is a very exciting session on the role that parents and caregivers can play to support the learning of their children, with a focus on the TIME program, Together in My Education, which is a home learning program for grade R and grade 1s. So we have today two very special speakers, Paulene Solomon and Colleen Diedericks. I'll introduce them a bit later. Thanks, Colleen, for showing your face. Maybe we can see Pauline's face as well quickly. Okay, Pauline's must be busy with something. Never mind.
Sorry, Marguerite, I am here. I don't know if
there we go. Now we can see you. Lovely. So yeah, it's going to be a very exciting session, I'm sure. We also have some people from various PFP schools who are going to be contributing and sharing their stories. I'm really looking forward to that. For those who are familiar with School Leadership Forum, you know very much how it works. We start with a bit of welcome and introduction. There's going to be a quick information about my school, who's the sponsor of these sessions. Then we're going to do a quick poll just to hear who's in the room and get a sense for the audience. And then we're going to have a little question that we will use to connect in small groups. So before we actually have the proper presentation from the guest speakers, there will be an opportunity for all of us to connect as human beings and to connect with the topic. And then we'll hand over to Paulene and Colleen from Wordworks. They will tell us about the topic of today. There will be a little video clip, and we'll hear from some educators from 2 PFP schools who've been implementing the TIME program at their schools. And then there will be time for all of you in the audience to ask your questions, and we'll have conversation and Q&A with Colleen and Pauline and all the educators who are on the call. And obviously, as always, a little wrap up in the end, a feedback form that's quite important. And we always leave you with a reflection question as well before we close the session. So that's the menu for today. So the question that we want you to think about and to connect about as we start the session is, if you think back of the days of your childhood, who has been your main caregiver or caregivers? There might be more than one. How have they contributed to your education, and why did that matter? So it's a very personal question. It's really about you thinking back about your very personal experience as a child, and then connecting with the people who are going to be with you in the little breakout room to share and to also connect to the topic of parental involvement and the contribution of parents and caregivers. I'm just going to quickly get back to the opening question that was our reflection question, and just invite a few members of the audience, those who have been able to join one of the breakout rooms, to maybe share with us what struck them in their conversations with their small teams. So whoever wants to share something, you can unmute and give us your thoughts.
Hi.
Beverly. Oh, you've muted yourself. Can you unmute again? We didn't hear what you wanted to share.
Hi, it's me, Fatima speaking.
Oh, Fatima, yes, welcome.
Oh, hi. We were in a group. Sorry, we were in a group, and maximum of us, a majority of us were, our caregivers were mainly our parents, paternal, okay, and they couldn't contribute in no way to our homework and things because they themselves were not educated. But they were very
supportive.
Fatima, you seem to have muted yourself. We can't hear you anymore.
Sorry, okay. But as I say, the main caregivers were our parents, okay? And if that's majority of us in the group. And because they were not educated, they couldn't assist us in no way with our work content-wise. Okay, the only thing they used to harp on was timetables, I think. That's the only thing they could assist us with. But they were there for us all the time. Even if we needed to go to the library, we didn't have a drop of a button thing where we could do assignments and things. So, you know, pictures to collect pictures, and in that way they could assist us. Okay, is that fine?
Thank you very much, Fatima. That's such an important point. It's such an important point because it's not about what parents can do. It's not about what they know. It's really about how they engage, right? How they engage with the children. So thanks very much for this critical point. Anyone else?
Yeah, it's Maureen speaking.
Yes, welcome. Do you want to maybe show your face? I just feel like it's so much easier to connect when we see faces.
Done now. Okay, next time.
Never mind. Okay, we can hear you.
So we also largely acknowledge also that we had our parents, our mothers, especially looking after us. But I think the one point that we raised was the fact that our mothers or parents were nurturing us in terms of the values, you know, expected of a child, respect and everything, though they couldn't help us with formal education, but in terms of informal education, they did what was expected of them. But there's a question I raised in the group, which I think would be discussed here, to say what was good with our parents was that our time was not over-occupied by gadgets and all that, so that it limited time to interact with us. They were there for us, and because we didn't grow up in the phone notes or cell phone age, parents had time to look after us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Maureen. That's definitely something that we need to hold in our awareness because times are changing. Okay, so thank you for that point. Maybe Pauline will want to, just get back to that point later. I'm just seeing a few other faces who have put on their cameras and unmute it? I don't know, maybe we'll ask Christine Maniaka, did you want to also share something?
Yes, yes. In our group, we spoke about our caregivers were mostly our grandparents, you know. And our parents, they used to work and they come late. And when they were, it's after school, when they come back from school, we'll be arriving at our grandparents, and the grandparents will prepare some soup if it's winter. And sometimes we'll be eating bread and peanut butter. But what I like most is that we're doing the rote learning, you know. You'll be asking us questions when you do maths, even though it was informal, but you'll be saying, can you say 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, and then we'll be doing that road learning, and then he'll be giving us some pens, coloring pens, to say color this. Do you know those colors? You know, red. Can you color red? Can you color blue? What is this? The color of the sun. And then you say yellow, and then you say color yellow, and I think that it was a basic a foundation of learning from home. And when we arrive at school, we're saying, I planned this with my group because of in our community, my grandmother was the main person who is helping other learners or children around the community, because their parents were arriving late. So most of them, they were coming to my grandmother's house because of all of us, we were there, and they will be sharing what we're doing at school. We'll be doing recitations, you know, before we used to recite recitations, and we sing together, and then we dance together. And it was part of learning. You know, we learned through the playing, and as much as it was informal, but today we are much better, and we have learned better because of the foundation that we got from our grandparents. And they will take care of us with the values, you know, the do's and the don'ts, apply respect, and how to talk to other children, how to interact with them, because of we always reprimand, and you will sit there under the tree, and they will be listening to us. When we play, when we talk, we'll be listening to you. When you talk something that is out of context, and then you'll be reprimanding. And it for me, it was a primary foundation of learning, much as it was informal. So and that it has made us to be better people today. So as we're able to connect from home, when you go to school is formal, when you go at home is informal, and that it has helped us a lot to be where we are today. And I say thank for the grandparents, because of us we used to enjoy, and no, everybody was looking forward to go to come to my grandmother's house. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. So thanks so much, Christine. What a beautiful story. I think I would have loved to have a grandmother like yours. And this is again, a very important point, because the point you're making is really about informal learning, right? Not about the school education, but about all the things that you learn informally through these connections and through the play and the everyday activity. So thanks so much. And I'm sure that, again, you know, Pauline and Colleen will let back on that as well. So that's a very good point. You've muted yourself now, Christine.
Mute. The storytelling, you know.
Yes.
Sometimes after that, sometimes we say sit around, take the carpet and sit around there, and then you tell us the stories, you know. All those folk stories you will be telling us. Then we'll be enjoying that. Yes, yeah.
So important. Yeah.
And it teaches us to be confident and to be able to stand up and speak and ask questions and answer, you know. Yeah, it was worth going. Yeah, sure, thanks.
Okay, right. I'm mindful of time. Don't want us to spend too much, you know, to make Pauline and Colleen wait too much for their own contributions. But if someone else is burning to say something, I don't know, see a few mics.
Margaret, if I may just say something very quickly.
Hi,
it's just something that came out that struck me was the use of household items has been the main teaching aids that we use at home. Yeah, and also learning through song and lots of rewards, you know, when learning took place here. Thank you.
Thanks so much, and it's lovely to hear your voice. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there for now. And there will be opportunities after the presentation to have more engagements and questions, answers, and you might want to come back to some of the comments that you've been holding. It's such a big session. We have 84 participants. I'm just having to manage the time, but lovely to hear those voices. Thanks everyone for your thoughts.